All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we are doing our second episode in the Law of Success series, and we're going to be covering the Mastermind principle. That's what Napoleon Hill covers in the introduction of his book, The Law of Success. And so, the first question, there are four questions we always ask, or we're going to be asking going forward on these kind of individual shows with just me and you. The first question is, what is it? The second question is, where has it shown up in my life, Timmy's life? The third question is, where do I want it to show up in my life? So looking forward into the future. And the fourth question is, how can you apply it to your life? And a little trick there, you can ask yourself those questions 2 and 3 to kind of get an idea of how you can apply it to your life. But first off, we're going to start with, what is it? What is the mastermind principle? It's really simple, actually. It's getting a group of people. The ideal number that Napoleon Hill goes over in the book is 6, I believe. You can check me on that. Don't quote me on it. It might not be 6, but I believe it's 6, and 6 just seems to be a good number anyway, right? So you get a group of 6 people together, and what happens when you get these people together? Well, what's going to happen is you're going to all go towards a definite major purpose together. And this was strange to me because I was thinking, okay, definite major purpose. That sounds so intense. Like in my head, my definite major purpose is ending poverty, right? But a definite major purpose can be something really small. It can be just a goal. It can be you all want to lose 10 pounds. That's a definite major purpose. It doesn't have to be your overall life purpose. It can be kind of the stepping stones. You can have definite major purposes within a huge definite major purpose. And so, for example, I want to end poverty around the world, right? But first, I want to secure financial freedom for myself and my family. Well, first, I have to get enough coaching clients to replace my W-2 income to do that, which means I have to do lead generation. And so if I created a group of coaches that did lead generation and secured coaching clients together, that would be an implementation of the mastermind principle. So where has it shown up in my life? Well, I can only think of a few like really specific times. I would say my Young Life team, that was a mastermind group because we all were going into the high school together with the purpose of spreading the gospel. And when that happens, you get synergy and you get results that you would not be able to get on your own because it's a mastermind, right? Like you have all these minds working together, all these efforts working together. So it's shown up in my life in Young Life. Obviously, in football, growing up, I played football, and you would mastermind with your team, with the linebackers, with the defensive ends, with the D linemen, with the, you would have plenty of masterminds there, all kind of with the same goal. I've also joined a couple masterminds in like real estate and trying to start some masterminds of my own. So if you go on my website, workwithtimmydouglas.com, I'm launching a mastermind community for podcasters and super connectors. And it'll be that group of 6 going towards some major definite purposes, major definite goals together, and widespread community too, with major definite purpose. And so that's kind of where it's shown up in my life. Where do I want it to show up in my life? Well, I want that podcasting mastermind and the super connector mastermind to really launch. I want this podcast to have a mastermind. And right now I'm recording this January 11th, and I'm pretty sure it's coming out in like April. So I'm recording this and thinking about getting mastermind communities going through NFTs on the blockchain, because I think that's a really cool way to get access to a mastermind, get access to me and kind of a future guest on the podcast, but also taking it a step further, when you sell that NFT to the next person who wants to be in the mastermind, you can get a lot of your money back. So you get a lot of the value, you get a lot of the money, and I also get to benefit from that. So everybody's benefiting, right? So that's kind of where I want it to show up in my life. I want masterminds with the super connectors, the podcasters, then just groups of people who listen to this podcast and want to hear the guests' dreams and goals and help them take that next step. But ultimately, I would say a really intense mastermind of people who really want to change the world. And that will come into play, as I get more into ending poverty and really solving homelessness, which will start in Austin, Texas, where I'm at. And yeah, that's where I want it to show up in my life. And how can you apply it to your life? Well, I think the first thing that Napoleon Hill asks you to do is to get a definite major purpose. And I think that's key, because when you have a definite major purpose, you can start to get around people who want that same thing. And remember, the key to the mastermind principle is get around people who want the same thing that you want. So identify your definite major purpose. Maybe you want to lose 10 pounds. Maybe you want to stop drinking. Maybe you want to stop smoking. Maybe you want to work out 3 times a week. Maybe you want to start that business. Maybe you want to start that nonprofit. Maybe you want to, I don't know. There are a lot of things people want to do, but think about what you want to do. And a good way to do this, I help a lot of coaching clients with this, a lot of people with this. I've helped one coaching client so far with this. Identify your genius zone, identify your purpose, and write out your ideal day. And if you need help with that, feel free to text me, call me. All of my info is on my website, but my info will probably be in the show notes as well. And yeah, hit me up, and I give you the worksheets that I give my coaching clients around those 3 topics: your purpose, your genius zone, and your ideal day. Filling those things out will really help you get an idea of like, okay, what's the next thing I can do? So write out that next step based on your ideal day, your purpose, and your genius zone. And once you do that, start building a community around that of people who want to do the same thing. So let's say my purpose in life is to help people become more healthy. And let's say my genius zone is being healthy. Well, maybe I'm missing something with my health in terms of diet. So let's say my major definite purpose or major definite goal is going to be cutting out carbs. Let's just say that. This is all coming off the dome right now, guys. Build a community of people, 5 people who want to cut out carbs, and hold each other accountable. You're the 6th person, so 5 other people. Hold each other accountable and make sure your mindsets are positive. And then you can also brainstorm creative ways to cut out carbs. Now, when it comes to cutting out carbs, that may not be as applicable, one or the other. But when it comes to ending poverty, when it comes to starting a business, that creativity of the mastermind really comes into play. And the last thing I wanted to say is, when I first heard the thing major definite purpose, I was like, whoa, that has to be my huge life goal, right? That has to be something big. And I want to bring this to everybody's attention. If you thought about that and you were like, major definite purpose and goal cannot be the same thing. So like a 90-day goal can't be a major definite purpose. I want you to pause and think about this. Because in my head, I was like, a major definite purpose can't be a goal because one is more important than the other. And now my question to you, as it is to myself, is, are you taking your goals seriously enough? And on that note, we are going to end on that question. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. As we always ask, send this podcast to 1 to 3 people you know need to hear this message. Hit me up on workwithtimmydouglas.com. You can follow me on Instagram at timdouglas924. I would love to work with you. I would love to coach you. I would love to help you change your life and the lives of people around you. Thank you guys so much. And on that note, we're out.